now, even though we've missed that first bit, but I will talk about that when you blend it later on. Just to bear in mind with that recipe, there's a few other recipes. So there's a few different ways of making ice cream. So as Emily's just sort of basically put on a dairy-free custard, you can do that with dairy as well. And there is a vanilla ice cream. So the process behind what you're doing with ice cream in your Thermomix is essentially making a custard. You want to cool it quickly, pop it in a tray, a lined tray or like a Tupperware container in the fridge so that it's frozen. And then, the following day, you're going to blend it so it aerates a little bit and makes it all lovely and smooth. So what I will do is send out an email tomorrow to everyone that's registered with what I've got of the recordings, and I missed the first bit. And I will explain a couple of those things and give you a few options. But what I'm actually going to do tonight is show you another alternative to making ice cream, which uses a few ingredients, and it's really simple. Now, I made these ice creams, and what I'm going to be doing is using some chocolate popsicle molds. Now, these are available from the mix shop, and in the past, I had bought ones when the mix shop didn't have them from another company called Elise Alexandra. I don't know if any of you know that particular lady, but she is a recipe developer and has some great Thermomix recipes and also some great free recipes on her website. So please feel free to check those out. She does have some great ones. But what I'm going to be making is a dairy ice cream tonight. And what I've actually just started to do, when I can just find my spatula out, I'm actually making a chocolate ice cream. So just to save a bit of time, I've actually just started melting 200 grams of dark chocolate. So this is actually going to go into our ice cream. So I want you to, if you want to write down this recipe, I want you to grab a pen and paper and write, first of all, the ingredients down. You're going to need 200 grams of dark chocolate. You're going to need a tin of condensed milk. You're going to need 600 mils of cream. And I have got some pure cream, but you can use whatever you like. I have got some vanilla. Now, if you haven't made the vanilla paste on cookidoo, it's quite a great staple. You can make your own vanilla paste using the whole vanilla bean. I've got my vanilla. And you're also going to need another ingredient. Now, this recipe that I'm making tonight is from a lady called Tanina Holder. She has this amazing cookbook called The Weekend Table. And in here, she has all these little ice creams on a stick. So this is where I've got the recipe from. And her recipe calls for extra virgin olive oil. Now, I'm not a fan of extra virgin olive oil in ice cream. So what I use is this liquid coconut MCT oil. You can just buy it from the supermarket and it's flavorless. But what it will do is give you a lovely smooth consistency to your ice cream, and it can scoop it. So this ice cream doesn't actually need to be churned. And when you bite into it on the stick, it's actually lovely and soft on the inside. So the MCT oil is what you need to help make the ice cream lovely and soft. Now, this amount of ice cream is actually going to make about 12 puddle pops, maybe a little bit more, but I'm actually just going to make 6 in the molds tonight, and I'm going to put some in some ice cream tubs and we can just scoop it out from home, and that'll take, a good 10 or 12 hours to set. So if you wanted to make just the ice cream without going into the molds, make it in the morning, it will be ready for dinner time in the evening. So if you want to do something getting ahead of time, or even just scoop it out and have it on a waffle cone, make it at breakfast time, and then it should be ready by the evening. Okay, so I'm just going to recap the ingredients for the chocolate paddle pop sticks. We need 200 grams of dark chocolate. We need a can of condensed milk. We need 90 grams of the liquid coconut oil, a tablespoon of vanilla bean paste, and a 600 ml carton of the cream. Now, my chocolate here should have just finished melting. So what I've done is I've melted the chocolate for 7 minutes, 40 degrees, speed 1. So this is all melted now. So I actually timed that quite well. So you can just see my chocolate at the bottom there. It's all melted. And the reason I've kept it quite a low temperature is I don't want it that hot to actually really melt the condensed milk. We only want to combine it. Now I'm just going to grab a spoon, and hold on, I've just left something out that should be in the freezer. Give me 1 second. I'm just making my ice creams that I prepared earlier ready to go for coating. Okay, so I've got my chocolate in, and I'm going to add in my condensed milk. So I'm going to add in the condensed milk, the oil, and the vanilla bean paste. I'm just going to mix that together. Now, I have never tried using I just use the normal everyday condensed milk. I know there's a few other versions. There's probably a low sugar one. You could try that if you like. These are a sweet treat. So, you know, I actually quite like this because I know what's in my ice cream. It doesn't have any of the artificial colours that are sometimes in vanilla ice creams. So I need 90 grams of the liquid coconut oil. Just going to see if I've even got enough. I thought I was probably putting a little bit low here. Oh, look, I'm a little bit short on that. I've just finished that bottle, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to go with slightly less than what the recipe said. And now I just need to add in roughly a tablespoon of, just adding someone into the waiting room, a tablespoon of my vanilla bean paste. So I'll probably just add like 2 teaspoons of this. And this little vanilla bean paste is actually, you know, really lovely and thick. So it's actually sort of made with a bit of a sugar syrup. Add my vanilla in. Okay, so once I've got my melted chocolate, my condensed milk, my not extra virgin olive oil, the liquid coconut, vanilla bean paste, we're just going to mix that up for 20 seconds, speed 6. And then we're going to take that out of the bowl here. Now this is going to be a really lovely thick mixture. And it's a bit like starting to make fudge. There's some great fudge recipes on cookidoo. So if you're interested in making fudge for Christmas, I can highly recommend the salted caramel fudge. That one is delicious. So this mixture, I'll see if I can do it so that you can see what I'm doing. It is really thick with that melted chocolate combined with the condensed milk. And what we're going to do next is just start whipping the cream.
That looks delicious.
Looks all right. Yeah, I haven't had anyone coming over to want to lick the bowl yet, but I usually get somebody very happy to do that in my house. So I'm not going to fuss if I don't have everything out of there. It won't matter because I'm actually just going to whip the cream now. And actually the recipe says don't clean the bowl, just add your butterfly in. I just usually try and make sure I don't have any mixture on the top of the blade when I'm popping the butterfly in. Butterfly goes just to the left of the high side of the blade. And what we want to do now with our cream is whip it until we've got soft peaks. So the recipe says to whip it. Never whip your butterfly anything higher than a speed 4. I'm going to add the whole 600 ml of cream now. And I'm just going to set the timer for 30 seconds. And then from about 20 seconds, I'll watch it because you don't want your cream to split. Otherwise, we'll end up with butter. So I'll set 30, it says 20 to 30 seconds or 15 to 30 seconds, but I'll just turn it to speed 4. And then once I get 20 seconds in, I'll check it. Now with cream, the closer it is to the use-by date, the faster it will whip. And also the higher the fat content, the faster it whips. It's actually looking fine at the moment. Except it's spraying out onto my face. Okay, we're done. So I didn't quite need 30 seconds. Only 25 was plenty. So we just want soft peaks for this. So I'll just show you. It's definitely just holding its shape there. So I just need to take the, might even be a bit more than soft peaks, to be honest. I'll take that butterfly out. Now we just return our chocolate mixture back into the bowl. And it really does look like chocolate fudge. I guess it is kind of almost chocolate fudge ice cream, just without cooking it. Now, all I need to do now is 3 seconds on speed 6. So it's actually not a lot of time that you want to mix this for. It's a very quick blitz. And that is how quick it is to make your ice cream mix. Now, you could have made this a little bit simpler by just doing it vanilla and not doing the melted chocolate, but I'm a bit of a chocolate girl. We've got kind of that little bit of a mix there. There's a few bits that aren't quite incorporated, and the recipe just says to make sure you just use your spatula to just give it that final mix. So I reckon I've got in here, I'm just trying to look at the, this is sitting just below the 1.5 mark on your bowl. So it's actually quite a lot of mix. So what I'm going to do is start pouring these into them. I'm just going to pop that lid away and see if I can just pop this over here so you can see what I'm doing. And I've, of course, got mixture on the bench here. I could lick it, but I'm not going to do that right now. I was tempted. Okay, so I think, let me just see. Just want to make sure you can see what I'm doing. I'll just change the angle of the camera. Okay, so I've popped my little paddle pop sticks in these molds, and they do angle down a bit, but I've got a little tip about that I've been working, because I kind of just, when I want them freezing, I want them kind of to sit up like that. And I found that if you just put a little ice pack on the edges of those in the freezer, it just weighs those sticks down so they sit flat in your ice cream molds. So this mix is just ready to literally just pour into your molds. And of course, I've got some ready to show you that I made yesterday, and I'm going to coat them in the chocolate in a little while.
I think someone heard chocolate ice cream and someone.
Oh, did they? So you've got a little helper there.
Well, a big smile on her face.
Oh, as I just said earlier, the kids are like, "Can you do more ice cream classes, Mum?" And I went, "Oh my goodness." My kids are my test subjects all the time, so they don't go without, trust me. Okay, so yeah, they just need, I'll show you the little ice pack that I use and how it works. I'm just going to grab it out of the freezer, sorry, because I've got to keep it cold. Yeah. It's a bit of a juggling act when I'm doing these, because I've got some ready to go in the freezer and some obviously ready to come out of the freezer. So it's a little bit of a juggling act. So this little ice pack I just had on the others, I just sat there in the middle, and it just weighs down those little paddle pop sticks enough. Now I find you can buy the paddle pop sticks from the mix shop, but I ran out the other day and found them in the craft section at the supermarket. So actually my mum and dad found them for me because I was looking and couldn't find them anywhere. So they're ready to go in the freezer. So you really do need to leave those in the freezer overnight. And I'm going to probably come back to maybe Emily now. And the rest of this mix, I'm just going to pop in an ice cream tub and pop in the freezer. And you can either have it as scoopable or you can pop it in molds. So, you can really pick and choose how you like to do it. And if you don't want to do the chocolate, just do the cream first and then add the condensed milk and everything afterwards. But I might give you the instructions in the follow-up email of how to do just the vanilla version, and I'll write it out for you just to make sure that it's clear and that I haven't confused you. So do you want to come back to where you're at with your recipe, Emily?
Yep. So,
okay.
Oh, yep.
I'll just take myself off for a minute.
So while Belinda was doing her ice cream, mine was going for 7 minutes at 80 degrees on speed 4. And that's finished. I'll try and show you. You can kind of see like it's a real caramel looking dark color, and it smells really good. You sit back, Kens. So I'll pour that into this container here. So I'll put that in the freezer because I already have some prepared. So Ken's hop out. You go sit over there, Dal. So I'll put that to the side, and that will actually go in the freezer. I already have some that I made last week that we've slowly been eating at. But so I've put this in a container. This is actually from the mix shop. You can purchase. They're on sale at the minute. So they do come in another color, green, and I think maybe white. So yeah, this is great.
Sure. There's a few colors of them. There's a few colors.
I know there's definitely green and pink. But so I've just taken this out about 10 minutes ago. So I'll put it down. I'll be able to scoop it. So you can have this two ways. You can either scoop it, or I'll follow the recipe where I put it back in.
Emily, that hasn't even been blitzed again. That's a scoop straight from the freezer, isn't it?
Yep. So that's just been out for 10 minutes. So you can have it that way, which
don't even need to blitz it, really.
Someone is hovering and waiting. So it doesn't actually have to be blitzed. No, we've just been eating it like that. But I'll show you when it does blitz, you can see like it's like a really smooth finish. So that's
amazing.
And then I will show you. So with this recipe, as I said, it's for ice cream and crepes. So I'm just doing the ice cream today. So I'll go back in up here and I'll go back to the recipe detail. And with the TM6, I'm able to skip steps. And for this one, I'm going from the start to the finish. So I'll scroll down. This is all about the crepes making, but I want to go down to assembly. So it says remove ice cream from freezer, which I've done, and place the frozen cubes into the bowl, 20 seconds, speed 9. So I'll push that and I will just scoop this ice cream out. Scoop it all out. Put the lid on and get out of it. She's trying to lick the bowl. And now I'm going to turn it up to speed 9. So you can see now it's made it like a really smooth caramel ice cream there. So I'll scoop it out. And it's more...
It's a little bit softer, but you could probably do that ahead of time softer, and then
but like
just freeze it again.
Scooping it. And it's still in slight forms.
Yeah, yum.
So you could even scoop that, put it in the freezer for a little bit and then bring it back out when you're ready. But as I said, we eat it like that. We don't put it back in the Thermomix.
That's amazing.
And it's perfect every time. As you can see, she's eating the leftover.
And I bet that's way cheaper than buying the panna.
So much cheaper. So much cheaper. And I like knowing what's in it as well. So you're making it from scratch. You know, they don't have those added agents that are in the other ice cream to make it so soft and things like that. So we've got that option. And having a dairy-free child, it's expensive to buy these things. Like they're not always on sale from the supermarket. So if you're wanting ice cream for either a family member or friends that are coming over, this is perfect to be able to have that option that you can make at home. And it takes 7 minutes and you shove it in the freezer and it's ready to go.
Amazing.
So you've got 2 options.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm making a good old mess here, just trying to get ready for the next stage. So what I wanted to show you next is I might just spotlight myself again. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm getting ready to coat these chocolate ice creams that I've made in chocolate. Now, a couple of months ago, if you're from Ballarat, the Wendouree wholesalers sell chocolate, Halibut chocolate. And I bought pink chocolate because, you know, it was my daughter's birthday and they had this pink chocolate. But don't think you need to go out and buy pink chocolate. use white chocolate if you want, or dark chocolate and have a double dark. You might want to do vanilla ice cream with chocolate coated or chocolate with vanilla. Now, for the full recipe of chocolate coated ice creams, you actually need 400 grams of chocolate and 50 grams of coconut oil. When I say the coconut oil, the one that's in your pantry that sits sort of solidified, not the liquid one. So I've just microwaved this tonight, some chocolate with some coconut oil, and I'm just stirring it till it becomes as smooth. So I think I'm almost there. It probably takes a minute and a half. Like the coconut oil liquefies pretty quickly. So you kind of just don't want to ever over microwave it so that it doesn't get split. But yeah, that's pretty good. So I'm just going to go and grab the chocolates that the chocolate pops I've unmolded from the freezer and show you how I coat them in chocolate. Right. Okay. So here we go. I've got some that I've done yesterday ready to go. And it's interesting. I took them out of the molds and put them in a container, and they almost started to melt again. I couldn't work out what was happening. But you want to have them nice and cold. So an overcrowded freezer won't be your friend. And this is probably slightly, I need a slightly taller, if you've got a glass that's a little bit taller, a little bit narrower, that will work the best. Or you can even just do this. You can pour the chocolate over it and it will drip down. And because the ice cream's frozen, it is going to melt this fairly quickly. And then you've got these beautiful chocolate coated pops. You can decorate them with Smarties. My daughter decided we needed to decorate them, and they are going to go back into the freezer. They won't take long to set, and I can guarantee these ones will probably have been eaten tonight. They'll only take a little bit longer, not long to set. I mean, I do dunk them in the chocolate. And then you just want to let them drain a little bit because otherwise it becomes too thick. And it is important to use the coconut oil or otherwise the chocolate is too thick. I have made that mistake before and only tried to use chocolate and it doesn't work out as well. So make sure you do use the coconut oil when you coat them. It is a little bit fiddly, but they do look really, really cool. The other thing I've done is popped freeze-dried strawberries on them. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry, I just had to do some crowd control. Sorry about that. Okay, so there's the chocolate coated ice cream. So I'm going to get this last one done and pop that into the freezer. And I might pass you over to Mary now, who's going to show you another dairy-free option for a very instant ice cream.
Good evening, everyone. I'm having a little bit of a giggle to myself because I was actually just going to watch the girls because we don't eat a lot of ice cream here. The only one that I make is a killer vanilla, which is a vanilla one. But I do have a friend that is dairy intolerant, actually a little bit more than that. So this is going to be one that I'm going to have up my sleeve that I can make really quickly. Now, I don't know whether you know you've got a thermo server. This is one of our host rewards. You can use it to keep things cold as well as hot. So in here, I've got some frozen banana that I did earlier today. And if anyone knows me, they think this is quite funny because I actually don't like bananas, but it's a great way to make sure that if you've got something that you need to, if you're going away on holidays or you're looking at the bananas and we actually get some hot weather and things are going to be needed to be used quickly, this is a great way to not waste things. So I had a look at this recipe today. I've never done this one before, so this is a first time for me. So in my recently cooked, I haven't cooked it, but I had a look at it today and it's the peanut butter banana ice cream. So I'm going to restart and we're just going to do this together. So it's literally 3 ingredients: frozen bananas that I have just frozen on a little plastic tray, just a bit like ice blocks, and some peanut butter and some coconut milk. So I don't buy coconut milk. I just buy coconut cream and water it down if I need milk. So off we go. And it's asking for 250 grams of banana cut into pieces and frozen, which we have here. I think I've got pretty close to it. So that's 245. That is 3 bananas that have peeled and frozen. Put my thermo server over there. And it's asking me to use my measuring cup. I'm not sure where I put it, so I'll use one of my old ones. And for 10 seconds on speed 6. So basically, we're just going to blitz it. Oh, so it looks a bit like whipped cream, really nice and gooey. And it's now asking me, I have to laugh, I really do not like the smell of bananas. So just as well that I might have Andrew eat most of this, I think. So 100 grams of smooth peanut butter. Now, look, I wouldn't really call this smooth, but, you know, that's one of the great things about a Thermomix. You can sub out different things. So I'm not sure how much 100 grams is going to be. Let's see. A couple of spoonfuls. So I can use my fingers because I'm not at a demo, so I'm at home. Now I feel like I need to do what Belinda did and lick my finger because I do like peanut butter. 100 grams of that, and then it's asking for 100 grams of coconut milk. So I'm just going to use the cream. I've given it a good, I really like this brand. It's a pure natural coconut cream. So I'm just going to pop that in, tear it back, because I don't know if you know, but your scales are very, very sensitive. So if at the moment I've got it set up on my bench, and obviously as it moves, so do the scales. So I'm just going to tear that back and pour it in. And if I wanted to, I could add a bit of water, but I'm just going to use the whole cream. I'm going to make it nice and creamy. And I don't know if you know, but you can also, oh, look at that, right on 101. So we have a beautiful creamy ice cream. It's asking me to insert the lid and measuring cup. And now for 40 seconds, we're going to do this on speed 6. So off we go. 40 minutes, 40 seconds, try that. Telling me to scrape down the sides of the bowl.
You've got a different chime on your Thermomix, Mary.
Well, I don't know if everyone knows you can change chimes.
Yeah, you can. I just noticed you had a different one.
So in settings, you can. I quite like this one. So let's see what it says next. And it says insert your measuring cup once again. And it's going to do it for another 20 seconds. It looks nice and silky, but let's see. It says, if your ice cream is too soft, transfer to a freezable container and place into the freezer till firm. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm not sure if it's what I would call an ice cream consistency, so I probably will freeze some of that. But even just to have a treat, when you've got someone that's dairy intolerant and everyone else is having cream and ice cream, it's so nice to have something that's a little bit different. And that's, you know, I would definitely put this particular one into the ice cream container, but you know, you can decorate that with some beautiful little chocolate cacao nibs, some beautiful little fresh flowers from the garden, you know, and you've got something that's really, really quick. But as Emily said, you know, 3 ingredients, all that you have either in your pantry or on your shelf. Now, I'm going to get Andrew to taste that because I don't like bananas. But we're going to go. Can I just say, I've really, really enjoyed watching your ice cream, Belinda. I'll be around tomorrow morning. And you've inspired me now. This is why we do these cooking classes. I'm hosting our family for Christmas lunch, and I'm thinking, what a great thing to have for the kids. You know,
they're really nice. This one I'm about to show you, I'll just spotlight myself because I have made everything to show you ahead of time. These are the adults only mojito pops. So these are these are a skinny mixer recipe. So they're from the Healthy Mix 6, if anybody has those books. Otherwise, we'll just write out the instructions in the email that I send out tomorrow in case you'd like to give these a try. Now, you can actually make these non-alcoholic and just increase the amount of coconut water that I'm going to show you how to make them, but they literally are going to take 5 minutes to prepare. The other option is, rather than putting them into ice pops, is that you could just put them into little ice cubes and then you can blitz it like a little bit of a slushy, adult kind of slushy, which is a really another nice option. So what I'm going to do is I've got a handful of mint leaves. So mint is growing really well in the garden at the moment. So if you haven't got any mint, pop on over. I'm happy to share some out of my garden. Okay, so I've got a handful of mint and we just want to chop that up a little bit because we want to try and hopefully make that small to get the flavour out of it. So I'm just going to come back and set my dial for 3 second speed 9. I'm just going to tell you the ingredients as we go along. So if you're writing that down, handful of mint. So that was 3 second speed 9 for the mint. And then we're literally going to add the remaining ingredients. So now I'm just going to bring my scales up again and I'm going to add some coconut water. So 200 grams of coconut water. The next thing we need is to make them like the adults only pop. I've got Bacardi, so white rum. So for that, we need 80 grams. So this is across 6 paddle pops. So it's not a huge amount of alcohol per paddle pop. And I wouldn't increase the amount of alcohol because it does affect how well things freeze. So the next thing we need is some fresh lime juice. So I have still got limes fresh from the garden. These are actually my dad's. So I've just squeezed some limes. I'll see how much I've got here. Oh, it's 56. I needed 60 and I've got 56 grams, so that'll do. And then the last ingredient is just 100 grams of soda water. So I have a soda stream and I've just got that ready to go. So I'm just going to add 100 grams in. And that's it. So it does say at the tips that if you wanted to replace the rum with a light coconut milk, you could do that. So that would be a low carb. You could replace the rum with additional coconut water or use soda water. And if you wanted a little bit sweeter, you could use soda water or lemonade if you needed it a bit sweeter because these aren't particularly sweet. So once we have those ingredients in, we just need to mix that up for 10 seconds on speed 5. Okay, now it's really up to you how you'd like to serve these. So what I've done in another ice cream mold is I've put a little half slice of lime and a little sprig of mint in there. And it says that you can use the mix as it is, but I don't think I would like all the chunky mint. So I'm going to strain it, and I've actually got a strainer, not just a basket, because I actually wanted it to catch all the pieces of mint. So you can just decide what you'd like to do with that. That's got the flavour but just not all the chunks. So that when I go to pop it in my molds, I've got this lovely clear liquid. It is a little bit foamy on top, but it doesn't take much to make these. You literally just mix it, pour it, and it's another great idea that you can do ahead of time so that when you've got friends or family coming over, all the hard work is done. These will just literally go into the freezer, like these ones that I made last night, and they're literally ready to go. So when we have a beautiful hot day, you've got your mojito pops for the adults, maybe your vanilla ones for the kids, or whichever flavour you want. There's lots of different flavour combinations you could make with ice creams, but I hope that's given you a little bit of inspiration tonight to try a few different ice cream recipes out for the summer. So that's probably all we've got tonight. It was a really quick class. I hope that's been helpful. Has anyone got any questions or anything they'd like to ask before we finish? No questions. So what I'll do is I'm just going to finish the recording now when I can find where I do that now.